Hey guys, it's Cassandra. Just wanted to come and share with you this message that God gave me this morning about forgiveness. And He used it with my father. So this is going to be a real transparent moment right here. If you've known me, if you've been in my life, you know that my dad was never in my life. He's never been there. I don't even know what he looks like. I've never even seen a picture of him. I used to always make a joke, if he came and tapped me on my shoulder, I wouldn't know who he was because I never even knew what he looked like. And that has literally plagued me my whole life. I've just been searching for who I really am because I never knew him. So God gave me this morning, I was meditating. I meditate and it has literally changed my life. And He gave me this morning when I was meditating, like I had to literally go back to when I was a little girl, and I had to literally embrace that little girl and speak life over her because of everything that she had dealt with in her life. So during that time, as I'm doing this, it's like God just said, okay, well, just like you went back and you embraced that little girl, I need you to forgive with love and empathy for anybody that has ever hurt you. And that includes your dad. So what He had me to do was to just really think about his state of mind when he actually decided not to be in my life and what was going on in his life. And it allowed me to really look at it a different way. And what was going on in his life at the time, my mother was just 19 years old, and she was in Little Rock in Barber College, and she was 19 years old, and he was 20 years her senior. And he was married, and he had a family. So when he found out she was pregnant, he just disappeared. And God had me to realize what his state of mind was when he actually did what he did. Here he is. He's a man. He has a family. He's established. He made a mistake by, hanging out with this 19-year-old and got in trouble. And it produced a child. And he just didn't know how to deal with that. So instead of dealing with it, he just left. He just decided not to be a part of it at all. And what God had me to realize is this. What he did, it was wrong. It was 100% wrong, and it has caused me a whole lot of pain in my life. But empathy and love will cause you to look at it a different way. He was a man. He had a family. If he came out and said, well, this is my child, then his whole life probably would have been ruined. And so I literally had to go back to everything and everybody that I have held in that standard of unforgiveness. And I had to get to a point where I said, okay, what was going on in that person's life? And what state of mind were they in at that time? Just like I embraced that little girl, I had to go back and to every person that I felt like hurt me or did something to me that wasn't fair or whatever. And I had to go back and I had to realize that they were once a young person or a young boy, girl, whatever, and they dealt with stuff. And the state of mind that they were in at the time was hurtful. I mean, how many times have, we been in a state that has hurt people and we not even realize that we hurt people. So, he had me to just really look at that thing with empathy and love. And I was able to set myself free from that. And after years of turmoil and not really knowing who I was because he wasn't in my life, I was able to let him go. And now that's some baggage that I don't have anymore. That's baggage that is not stopping me. That's baggage that is not playing in the background. Our lives is an operating system, and what we have planned in the background is going to come forth. It's going to come forth in the form of hurt, pain, fear, whatever. It's going to come forth in some kind of way. So that's one thing. And I was literally able to do that with everybody that I had held at that standard of unforgiveness. So my little tidbit for today is let people go with love and empathy. Forgive them, because my dad, chose not to be in my life because he had a family and I have a family, and I understand what his mindset might have been at the time. So I'm able to free myself and free him at the same time. So I'm so full right now from everything that God is saying and speaking, and I'm just thankful. I'm thankful to be in this place where I can finally be free, or I can finally not be tormented anymore about what could I have been if he was in my life. The Bible says it all works together for our good. And I'm a firm believer, and I'm a firm example that it has worked together for my good. I mean, it took me a while to get here. And, I've hurt a lot of people along the way. And I hope they've forgiven me. And I hope that, because of this revelation in my life, that I'm able to fully walk in what God has called me to do. And this is something that I want to share. You go back and you think about what it is that somebody did to you and how they hurt you, and you really, really have that empathy and you have that love for them, and you let them go. That doesn't mean that you have to call them and say, well, in 1990 you did this to me, and I just want you to know that I forgive you. No, you don't have to do that. All you have to do is say to yourself, okay, I realize now that I might have held on to some stuff that they didn't even know that they did, and the state of mind that they were in at the time, they did what was in their power to do. So I'm going to let them go with empathy and love. I'm going to really put myself in their shoes, and I'm going to let them go. That's my tidbit for today, guys. I love you. Be breezy. Bye-bye.